Hello everyone, and I'm here to review Mob Psycho 100 Season 2. I believe episode 8. I hope it's 8. If I'm wrong, it's gonna be terrible. I've been pretty busy lately, but I am gonna start uploading as much as I can now that the busyness is over. I'm still doing gaming videos, don't worry. I know it's been a while that I have not done a gaming video. But I have recordings of gaming videos. I just need to edit them and then post them. That's all I need to do. It's just these reviews of these anime episodes are literally every single week on the dot. Like, I have to do them. The gaming videos I can do like pretty much whenever I have an opening to do them. I do work a full-time job, so it's not like I can handle this. But enough of the complaining. Let's get into the episode. So I wasn't able to review last week's episode. I'll touch briefly on it. Basically, it has to do with how Mob is having friends now. He actually has genuine friends. One of his friends has a birthday, and all of them go out for the birthday, and they're eating lunch, talking about going to karaoke or whatever. And Mob is really genuinely happy. He's like, I feel like I belong. Everything's going good, but Reigen keeps calling him up to do exorcisms, and he always hates that Reigen just like calls him up like out of nowhere, like, hey, let's go, we need to do an exorcism, and he hates doing that. So he basically tells Reigen off. Reigen's like, oh crap, this is weird for him to do. So he's like, oh, it's not like you have any friends anyways, like he basically told him you don't have any friends, that it doesn't matter, like I'm more important, all this stuff. And Mob actually got really angry. And he's just like, okay, I don't need you anymore, basically, to grow up. I don't need you anymore. I have friends now, so goodbye. So Reigen and Mob split up. Reigen's depressed at first. Then he starts doing really amazingly well. His company starts growing incredibly well, even though he's just scamming people. But he does it. He's getting famous. And then now he has a TV appearance. And Jobo, I think the guy's name's Jobo or Jodo. I think it's Jobo. That psychic guy that got kneed by Reigen during the Mogami episodes. He's bald and big, huge, round eyes. Really ugly looking. He is doing this to show the world that Reigen is a scam. And I came into the episode thinking like Reigen's gonna get away with this. I thought it was gonna be like how Mr. Satan gets away with it in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, where he kind of just miraculously no one finds out that he's fake, basically. I thought that was what's gonna happen. I was totally wrong. So this week's episode. So Reigen's on TV, everything's looking good. I mean, did anyone else think he was gonna get away with this? I literally thought he was gonna fly through this, and by coincidence, basically. And then the Jobo guy was going to be like, what the hell? What's going on? But it's not how it turns out. It goes really bad. So, at first, he doesn't know what's happening. Reigen doesn't know the setup of the show. And basically, they're bringing somebody on that is possessed. And they're going to have Reigen or Jobo exorcise the person. Reigen just thought, I'm just here to give a few remarks. Nothing's going to go wrong. But that's not the case. They bring out the possessed boy, and he's like stuttering in his chair. He looks like he's a psychopath. At first I thought he was possessed, but then I'm like, that's really messed up to bring some possessed kid onto this show. But they bring the kid on the show, and Jobo is gonna go first. But then Jobo's like, no. No one wants to see an old man. Let's put Reigen on there. And I'm like, oh god. And Reigen's like, oh shoot. What am I supposed to do? But then he's like, well, it has to be fake or something. Like, this can't be real. I'm just going to do my best and see what happens. So that's basically what it comes down to. Reigen is shocked at first that he has to go first. I don't think he expected this to happen. But he goes along with it. I thought he was just going to, like, breeze through this. We're getting closer to what happens. Jobo's doing all of this for revenge. He's like, I can't believe you need me. Like, you just did your knee attack onto me, and I'm getting revenge on you. And I'm going to prove to you, I'm going to show the whole world that you're a fraud, and blah blah blah. It's like, get out of here, old man. Like, I hate this guy. I wish Mob would just come in and just destroy this guy, but no. Things don't go like that. We have Reigen come up to the boy. He's like, well, I'm just gonna do my normal attacks. He gets some sand, he does all cool, or not sand, but salt, sorry. He gets some salt, he acts all cool and throws it at the kid, and the kid's like he's dying. And Reigen's like, wow, I can't believe this is actually working, this never works. And then he's like, oh, the kid is acting, it's not real. So I'll just go along with it, and I'll make myself look really good, I'll just play along. Which he should not have done. The instant he knew the kid was faking it, he should have said, I'm sorry, this kid's is faking it. I don't know why he thought that it was all performance. Obviously, he knows the other guy is an actual psychic. At least I think he knows. So, I don't know why he did that. That was a huge mistake, because that would have saved him the whole time. If he knew in the beginning, and it said, this kid's faking, it would have been perfect from then on. So he spends 30 minutes, like, doing all kinds of stuff, and the boy just stays possessed. And Reigen's like, oh, I don't know why he's still acting this way. Like, by now he should have pretended to be exorcised. I don't know what's going on. So then it's Jobo's turn, and then Jobo's just like, oh, he's faking it. There's nothing to exorcise. And Reigen's face. He's like, what? And after that, he's frozen. I felt so bad for Reigen. I know how he feels, because this is the moment when you are on the spot in front of everyone and you have to come up with something really smart on the fly. And normally Reigen can. Normally he's really good at it, but he can't do it. He can't do it, and it's so painful to watch. I was like, oh man, I was expecting Reigen to just be smart. He comes up with the most amazing things on the fly, but right here, he's frozen. He's finished. Jobo is just like hammering him down with like slander. Like, oh, a real psychic would have been able to notice. So I guess you're not real then. And Reigen's like, I saw a spirit, I think. And it's like, oh no, this is getting worse. Reigen just doesn't know what to say. He literally stammers and stands there like an idiot in front of everyone, in front of live TV. Live TV. And he's like, oh, spirit was in here. It was a man. And he's looking around the room. He's like, oh, please stop saying something. And he sees a guy with a Beethoven shirt. He's like, it was Beethoven. And that was it. That was it. His life was ruined after that. So all of social media destroys Reigen. They make a meme out of him, and the meme is like him throwing salt at the boy in the chair and doing like a weird dance, because Jobo said it looked like a dance he was doing. The meme spread all over. I like the names of some of these. It had Psycho Book, MobTube, MobTur. They have like a Snapchat, but it's the ghost from Dimple. Psycho instead of Skype. I mean, it was cool. I like how all the symbols were exactly like real life, but it just had Mob and Psycho, pretty much. In all the names. That was really clever. So Reigen's life is ruined. Completely ruined. And he gets, like, caught up by the press. They want him to do a press conference to, like, apologize or explain what was going on, I guess. He accepts to do it, which I don't know why he did, but he accepts. I think he was trying to figure out, like, if he could fix this whole mess. And he gets an email from his mom, like, saying, we're supporting you. We just want you to apologize to all the people you've hurt and scammed. And the mom sent, like, a PDF file of, like, an apology letter, like an apology script for him to read during the press conference. And he prints it out. So I thought he was going to do that. But he ends up not doing it that way. Instead, he kind of just does his own thing like he always does. But I thought it was interesting that we get a little bit on his parents, I guess. We never seen his parents before. But I feel like they're not disappointed in Reigen. It's more like they want him to acknowledge that he's a con artist and that he needs to apologize to everybody and that he's basically not a really good person. And you don't really know how he feels about this. You see how he looks on his face, like he looks like he's sad or in thought, but you don't really get any more context on that, which is really interesting. The press is completely against him. I mean, right when he arrives at the press conference, they're on him, they're battering him with all kinds of questions, and he just sits there. And he was gonna start really, really professional, like, thank you for all gathering here today, and then it said, like, this is one of those times when it's so much that you just don't give a damn. And he just didn't give a damn. He didn't give a crap what they had to say. He's just like, I don't know why you're all here, and I don't know what I'm doing, and blah, blah, blah. And he's answering questions about his life, and it's like, I think things were going okay smoothly, but I didn't think it was going to get resolved at all. He was kind of just answering simple questions and avoiding the difficult ones, and the press were just hammering him, trying to get him to admit that he's a fraud to the whole world, but he doesn't do it that way. Instead, they ask him why he became a psychic in the first place, and he completely stopped at that moment. He completely stopped talking, he looked really emotional, and he froze, and everybody was like, oh god, this is not like Reigen. And he started remembering his first meeting with Mob, because he got into the psychic business because of a magazine ad or something that he saw. So that it was he was jumping from con to con as much as he could, and that was the one that he was on. He was about to quit doing it until Mob came into his life. Mob was a little boy. We've seen this flashback in season 1. He just needed help because he's an esper and he didn't know what to do. And Reigen gave him some really good advice. And the advice was about how, like, his psychic powers are just an extension of himself. Just like people are book smart, run fast, good at athletics, strong, whatever, good at drawing. Mob's special was being an esper, having psychic abilities. And he said all of them are equal and that they all help people in their life. They're all what they're good at. And that to not be afraid of his powers, to just learn and grow with them. Really inspirational. And he got caught up in how much he helped Mob, and he took a liking to Mob. Especially when he dumped his cup of tea or whatever, and Mob just like used his psychic ability to put it back in the cup. And he realized, oh crap, this boy actually does have psychic powers. And that's when he hires Mob to exercise spirits for him. But it was more than that. It was like he's using this kid to further his business. But at the same time, he was almost like helping Mob grow up in a way. He was kind of like a father figure for Mob. Even though Mob has parents, this guy helped Mob control his powers and learn to use them, even though he had no psychic ability of his own. So it wasn't about the psychic, like being a psychic and that was the job. It was more just helping Mob. Helping Mob was the reason he stayed being a psychic. So he realizes his mistake. Reigen knows he said some really mean crap to Mob, saying that he had no friends and they only rely on him. He hasn't grown up or whatever. He realizes what he's done. And he looks at the camera and he hopes that Mob's watching him. Because the whole time Mob's kind of been, it seemed like he's oblivious to everything that's been going on because he's just been hanging out with his friends. But he looks in the camera and says, you've grown up. Like he says, Mob or whatever, you've grown up, and that was it. The press didn't know what the hell he's talking about, but that was his message, and he's like, I'm done. All of the cameras, the whole room, things start floating into the air. I had no idea what was going on. Was it Mob that was doing that? Because it didn't explain it. It had the theme, Mob's theme, and obviously it was really powerful psychic powers, but was that Mob helping him out to, like, keep his image? Like, someone explain to me in the comments if that was, because that was, if it is, I think it is Mob helping him out. That was a really cool thing to do, for Mob to do. But I like that Reigen just left. Everyone, even Jobo, thinks that Reigen's got psychic powers, and that's cool. That's good on Reigen, because even though he's been conning people this whole time, I'm glad that he still got to keep his reputation. So it's the end of the episode, and Reigen meets up with Mob, and he talks with Mob a little bit, and he asks Mob, do you know what I am? And Mob's like, yes, I've known from the beginning. And Reigen asking, do you know I'm a fraud, basically, that I have no psychic powers? But Mob answers and says, you're a genuine good guy. And that just hit Reigen's heart. It hit my heart. I was like, wow, this is some powerful... This has been an emotional season. I don't know about you guys, but like, season 2 so far has been action-packed in some episodes and super emotional in others. It's been hitting all levels with me. It hit his heart because even his mom, Reigen's mom, and the people around him are trying so hard to get him to apologize, like he's a horrible person. But then here comes Mob saying, no, you're a genuinely good person. And that's what Reigen needed to hear to lift him back up. It was a great episode. I would have to definitely give it like a 90%. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start doing 9 out of 10. I'm tired of doing the percentages because they make no sense. I'm going to the normal rating system of like 10 out of 10s or whatever. This is a 9 out of 10 episode. Fantastic, hilarious episode. I love the animations of Reigen's faces throughout the whole thing. On a side note, there's this guy's room. Because it shows people watching the TV presentation of the exorcism. And it has like some people, like fat people just watching on their computer, or people just watching on the TV, whatever. It has this guy watching TV, and he's watching the program. And if you look at his room, he has like magazines of like women on the ground. And I don't know if they're like Playboy type magazines, but you see those magazines there. Next to the magazines is a tissue box. And next to those two things are crumpled little pieces of either tissue or paper. I'm thinking it's tissue. Is this guy like masturbating or something? What the hell was that? Like what? Why did we need to see? I'm looking around the room like, I had to pause it and like, is that what I think it is? He has a tissue box and women's magazines. If that's not enough indication, you look on his wall, and he has, like, women in bikinis on the wall. And I'm like, this is, I don't know what to think about this. It was really random. You only see it for a second. But if you look around the room, there's enough Easter eggs to show you, like, this guy is some weirdo, basically. But anyways, it was a great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you like the episode? Would you rate it higher? What were your favorite moments of the episode? And... if you know how many episodes are in this season, let me know. Is it only 12 episodes, or is it 24 episodes? I'm thinking it's 24 because we haven't even gotten to what's happening in the intro with the main guy of Claw yet. So that'd be awesome if it is. But anyways, check out my gameplay videos, Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Walking Dead. I'm still going to be updating those, don't worry. I know it's been a while. Once February is over, there'll be a February review video as well. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Share, do everything you can to promote this channel. I'm trying really hard to get to 100 subscribers. And I'm going to try to do a special video once I get to 100. I'm getting really close to 100. And it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a great one.